Krishnaya Govinda He Gopi Jana Ityapi Alabhaya Priyavaksner Mantram Te Dasyati Priyam. So the text says like this. Then the goddess of learning, Saraswati, the divine consort of the Supreme Lord, said thus to Brahma, who saw nothing but gloom in all directions. O Brahma, this mantra, Klim Krishnaya Govindaya Gopijana Vallabhaya Swaha, will assuredly fulfill your heart's desires. So just to remind ourselves to the previous shloka, when Brahma was born on the lotus coming from the navel of the Garbhodakashayi, the direction. So there was a darkness. They didn't know what is his cause. He didn't know what is his, the source of him. So then, Uvacha Aratastasmai. Then the goddess of learning, Saraswati, the divine consort of Supreme Lord, appeared. So we'll see the purport here. The mantra, consisting of the 18 divine letters, prefixed by the Kama Bija, is alone super excellent. It has a twofold aspect. The mantra given by the Saraswati, okay? Klim Krishna Govinda Gopijana Vallabhaya Swaha. One aspect is that it tends to make the pure soul run after all attractive Sri Krishna, the Lord of Gokul, and the divine milkmaids. So by chanting this mantra, one will be attracted to Krishna and the gopis and the Vrindavan. Okay. This is the acme of the spiritual tendency of Jiva. This is the peak, the topmost thing that Jiva can achieve. Okay. When the devotee is free from all sorts of mundane desires and willing to serve Lord, he attains the fruition of his heart desires, the love of Krishna. Okay, this is simple, straightforward and clear. But in the case of devotee who is not of unmixed aptitude, this super excellent mantra fulfills his heart's desires also. So this is twofold meaning of the mantra. If we chant this mantra starting with Kama Bija, Klim Krishna Govinda Gopijana Vallabhaya Swaha, but we have material desires, those desires will be fulfilled by the mantra also. The transcendental Kama Bija is inherent in the divine logos located in Goloka. This mantra we've seen in the center of the inverted triangle in the hexagonal abode of Krishna in the Shloka 2 and Shloka 3 of Brahma Samhita described. So it is there in spiritual. And the Kama Bija, perverted reflected in the worldly affairs, satisfies all sorts of desires of this mundane world. So as the spiritual world, material world is perverted reflection of spiritual world, this mantra has also perverted reflection and it fulfills material desires. Yeah? So that is, this is explained here as a warning, not as a facility to fulfill all material desires. Yeah? As a warning to the transcendentalists. Okay, so now what is described in this verse? This verse describes actually, Srila Jiva Goswami explains that the mercy is given to Brahma. Because he was born in darkness, he was born in the gloom, nothing he saw around. Remember, Bhagavatam says he was moving around his head, looking in the direction, who am I, what is the lotus, who is the source of it, what is my purpose, what is this place that I'm born. So he could not figure out his origin, neither his purpose and goal of life. So now the mercy is given by the Lord. Why? Because he had attained good fortune of previously worshipped the Lord. Why suddenly Goddess Saraswati comes and gives him mercy? Because previously, this post of Brahma is achieved by previous pious activities. Okay. Previously in the body of Mahavishnu, he was colored when previous pralaya was there, all the jivas were back into Mahavishnu's body. Now when new creation starts, the most pious soul was awarded post of Brahma. So that means that previously he did some pious activities, previously he worshipped the Lord. So Lord sends the goddess of learning Saraswati, the divine consort of Supreme Lord. This is also explained that this Saraswati, in the material world, we know goddess Saraswati is there, the goddess of learning, but this is goddess of material knowledge. But this Saraswati here is clearly mentioned as Divya Saraswati. Divya means transcendental, not the Saraswati of material world, because Brahma is the first created living being. No devatas are yet created. So this is the consort of the Lord, eternal consort of the Lord, from the spiritual world. This is explained, and that transcendental Saraswati is spoken to the Lord. That we can see in the Goloka chart also, that in spiritual world, in realm of Vaikuntha, abode of Lord Narayana, there is abode of Saraswati. This is Divya Saraswati. Sometimes she is described as a wife of Lord Narayan. Sometimes she is specifically described as a wife of Lord Nrsimhadev. That also I'll share with you quotes. Srila Sridhar Swami, the original commentator on Srimad Bhagavatam, he explained this. Vagisha. Vagisha. Vak is another name of Saraswati, Vagisha. Vagisha yasya vadane lakshmi yasya chavakshasi yasyaste hridaya samvit tam nrsimham aham bhaje. That is his prayer. For writing commentaries, he offered the prayers. I worship Lord Nrsimha, within whose mouth resides Saraswati, the goddess of eloquence. Eloquence means perfect speech. Okay. Upon whose chest resides Lakshmi, the goddess of fortune, and within whose heart resides Samvit, goddess of knowledge. So this is one example. Sometimes she is, later on, she expands into the mundane Saraswati. Sometimes she is counted as the wife of Lord Brahma, Saraswati. Sometimes Brahma's wife is called Savitri. Sometimes even Gayatri is mentioned sometimes as the wife of Lord Brahma. But we understand these are again now goddesses of material world. The original Divya Saraswati, which one we give transcendental knowledge, this is wife of Lord Narayan, of Lord Nrsimha. This is eternal potency of the Lord. In Shashtaka we have also Vidya Vadu Jivanam. The true knowledge, Vidya Vadu Jivanam, gives lives to the spiritual, the life of devotee. That is Divya Saraswati. Again, the transcendental knowledge is given to the devotee. So, okay. Vak also refers to the Vedic instruction, the transcendental sound vibration of the Vedas. That is also described. The Vak or Vedic injunction giving direction for all the living beings. Srila Prabhupada said all the visions of life, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, they got instruction from Vak, from the spiritual transcendental vibration of the Vedas. Vedas gives the duty, what is to be done, what is not to be done, how to act. So this is explained here. Okay, so now her instruction goes on. I'll just share with you the next shloka. Okay. The goddess of learning Saraswati, the divine consort supreme, said as to Brahma, that chant this mantra Brahma, and you will fulfill your heart's desires. Then she said, Tapasvam tapa etena tava siddhir pavishyati. This is shloka 25. O Brahma, do thou practice spiritual association by means of this mantra, then all your desires will be fulfilled. Okay, spiritual association by means of mantra. Tapaha, spiritual austerity, tvam, you, tapa, practice. Etena, by this, tava, your siddhi, fulfillment, bhavishyati. So you have to chant mantra as a sadhana, as a spiritual practice, and also practice spiritual association by means of this mantra. So Okay, here the purport, its purport is clear, but I like to explain a little bit of it. Okay. Now we were reading from Srimad Bhagavatam also, this instance of Brahmas appearing on the lotus and all these different activities. Now in third canto, Srimad Bhagavatam, and second canto, both cantos describe this appearance of Brahma. Now in third canto, does not mention Divya Saraswati, but mentions the word tapa. Now you can see that she instructed him, tapa. You perform tapas tvam tapaetena. You do austerity and chant this mantra by the means of this mantra. Okay. So I'll read from Srila Prabhupada's commentary on that. Here in Srimad Bhagavatam, this is from, I think, third canto, number I'm giving, I think the number will be given, just a second, yeah. This is 2 in second canto. In second canto we are reading. Shloka says, Chintayan Dvayaksharam. Okay. The two, he heard the 2 syllables. Here, Brahma situation was like this. While thus engaged in thinking, Brahmaji heard twice from nearby in the water 2 syllables joined together. First of the spatial letters, and they join to become the renounced order of life. Now this is the beauty of Sanskrit. Look how it is expressed. It's not just expressed, the word was tapa. It said that word was 16 and 21st letter of the spatial letters. So you have ka, ka, ga, ga, so you have to count. Why? Why like this? It's interesting. It is explained in the Vedas also that all the letters, every letter in the alphabet represents Lord Vishnu. It is manifestation of the Lord. It refers to Lord Vishnu. So here, from the letters, that means that all the words to be made from the letters should be aimed at self-realization, should be aimed to know the Supreme Lord, should be aimed at Brahman realization, Atata Brahma Jigyasa, right from beginning. Any misuse of words, any misuse of thoughts made of the words, any misuse of sound is against the self-realization, is acting against the jiva in his own self-interest. So here the another meaning is given now. The 16th and the 21st Pasha, Prabhupada explained this, okay? The consonants are divided into 2 groups, namely the Sparsha Varnas and the Talavya Varnas. From Ka to Ma, the letters are known as Sparsha Varnas, and the 16th of the group is Ta, whereas the 21st letter is Pa. So when they are joined together, the word Tapa or penance is constructed. So how do we know it's penance? They join to become wealth of renounced order of life. The wealth of renounced order of life. What is the wealth of renounced order of life? The renounced order of life has no wealth. Their wealth is tapa. This is their wealth. Their wealth is tapasya. This is their asset. The asset, the purity, the power they have. No? The power of the renounced order of life is in their renunciation, is their ability to control mind and senses, in their ability to withdraw the mind from the sense objects, in their ability to not be enjoyers of material world. Therefore, people trust them. People have faith in God because they believe that these sadhus are God's servants. They are not enjoyers of material world. They are not going to exploit us. They have no motivation. They have no secret. And that is their power. The power of sannyasi is in his padukas, in his kamandala, and his danda. What power is that? The tapa power. Therefore, touching those, this is a great asset is that. Touching the feet of the guru, of the sannyasi, it's a power. Remember, any curse or any blessing is given. Water from Kamandala is sprinkled. There's so many things are there, emphasizing that the wealth of renounced order is in tapasya. It must be. It cannot be, that you mingle with women freely and have, luxury life, Recently somebody mentioned, great Babaji in Vrindavan. Here's the AC. You can see it. You should see this Babaji speaking in Vrindavan. So we open video and see, and you can see behind him running AC in Vrindavan. Then what is the point? Where is your wealth of renounced order of life? You're Babaji in Vrindavan and you're living in an AC room. Then what's the point? No? So there's contradictions. It doesn't fit, doesn't go together. Okay, so I'll just continue reading. This penance is the beauty and wealth of Brahmanas and the renounced order of life. According to Bhagavad's philosophy, every human being is meant simply for this tapa. Tapa divyam putra kayena sattvam. We remember, no? For no other business. Okay, look at how Prabhupada explains. It's meant simply for tapa and no other business. Because by penance, only can one realize himself, and self-realization, not sense-gratification, is the business of human life. This type of penance, you have to accept this. Even materially, if you want to achieve something, you have to do some tapas. Look at the business. We were just discussing with Shriram, Charanarendra Prabhu, how these big bosses, big business people, what is that, Bill Gates and this Steve Jobs and that, what a sadhana they had in their life. This is amazing. We will all, as a spiritual people, have a hard time to match them. They rise early in the morning, everything is fixed in a minute. Everything is pre-planned. They follow rigidly sadhana, eating, resting, everything is like amazing, Even to do that, even to run the multi-company business, or be successful materially, you have to do some sacrifice. You can't do whatever you want to do whimsically, anytime, whatever you want to do, eat whatever you want to do, drink whatever you want to do, talk any nonsense you want to do. You cannot. You cannot be president of American blubber nonsense. Hare Krishna. Means you won't stay long in that position. So, no, it's like this. It's anything. Some sacrifice is there. Sacrifice. You have to sacrifice. No, people who go for Olympics. We had a friend who was a good sportsman. He was athlete. He was runner. So we would go play football, but he would run around. We were in the middle of the ground playing football, and he would run around us. I said, "Come on, play one week." No, I have to get the medal. So he would sacrifice joy, pleasure, playing with others. We'll go to the bar, and he would not go to the bar. Even if we push him, come with us to the bar, he will order a cup of milk. We were all drinking beer before coming to Krishna consciousness. Then we shifted to non-alcoholic beer. It's a joke. So, but he would sacrifice. He would sacrifice his time. He would sacrifice his eating habits also. He won't eat, anytime just eat some ice cream and this, that. He will not go late to sleep. He would run before the school starts. He would go and run. So much sacrifice to achieve something material. So what do you think? What kind of sacrifice has to be performed to achieve the ultimate goal of life, the highest goal of life? No? The highest lotus feet of Krishna. Nothing higher than that. So that must be the biggest sacrifice. So this tapa or penance was begun from the very beginning of creation. So you see, the hint is that this tapa is given as a means of the jiva to attain the goal. This tapa penance was begun from very beginning, Master, Lord Brahma. By tapasya only can one get the profit of human life, and not by polished civilization of animal life. The animal does not know anything except the sense gratification in jurisdiction of eating, drinking, being merry, and enjoy. But the human being is made to undergo tapasya for going back to Godhead, back home. When Lord Brahma was perplexed about how to construct material manifestation in the universe, and went down within the water to find out the means and source of this lotus seed, he heard the word tapa vibrated twice. So this is the moment when Brahma heard this word tapa. He was in the stump. He went down under the water trying to find his source. He was searching, and then he heard the word tapa. So he returned back to his lotus, Taking the path of tapa is the second birth of desiring disciple. Taking the path of tapa. The word upashinot is very significant. It is similar to panayana, or bringing the disciple nearer to spiritual master for the path of tapa. So Brahmaji was thus initiated by the Lord Krishna, and this fact is corroborated by Brahmaji himself in his book, Brahma Samhita. Now here Prabhupada puts together this first instruction of tapa and later on the initiation. And in Brahma Samhita this is segregated in different shlokas, you can see that. So Prabhupada continues. In the Brahma Samhita, Brahma has sung in every verse, Govindam Adi Purusham, Tamaham Bhajasham, mantra by Lord Krishna himself. Thus he became Vaishnava, or a devotee of the Lord, before he was able to construct the huge universe. Okay, so by tapasya, he got mercy of the Lord and he was initiated by the Diksha mantra. I was initiated into 18 letter Krishna mantra, which is generally accepted by all the devotees of Krishna. We follow the Sampradaya, we follow the same principle because we belong to Brahma Sampradaya. Directly in the cyclic chain from Brahma to Narad, from Narad to Vyas, Vyas to Madhva Muni, from Madhva Muni to Madhavendra Puri, from Madhavendra Puri to Ishvara Puri, from Ishvara Puri to Lord Chaitanya, and gradually to His Divine Grace, Divya Saraswati, our Divine Master. So what Prabhupada said, and that we are Brahma, Madhva Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya. So Brahma chanted this mantra, 18 syllable mantra, so we also chant this mantra. So when you get the second initiation, you will get these mantras to chant every day, 3 times a day. One who is thus initiated in the cyclic succession is able to achieve the same result, or power of creation. Look at this. Chanting of this holy mantra is the only shelter of the desireless, pure devotee of the Lord. Simply by such tapasya or penance, the devotee of the Lord achieves all perfection like Lord Brahma. So this is very nice purport explaining that importance of this word tapa. Sacrifice must be there. So what is our tapasya? Our tapasya is rising early in the morning, chanting 16 rounds, following 4 regulative principles, eating only Krishna prasadam, focusing our mind to speak only about Krishna, not speak Ramya Katha. So all these things are tapasya. It's easy to not follow anything. That's the easier. Just let mind loose, roam around. No? but it's not good for us. It's not beneficial for us. So therefore this tapasya is recommended. Okay, let me see here. There is a commentary of Srila Vishnu Chakra Thakur. This is singular second person imperative verb meaning perform meditation or austerity. This was spoken 2 times. So this was the order, perform meditation or austerity. By the grammar, Srila Vishnu Chakra Thakur explained this singular second person imperative verb meaning the perform meditation or austerity. That was spoken 2 times. So 2 times is spoken. Do it. No? Imperative is emphasized twice. Tapa, tapa. Then Brahma agreed. Okay. He went back to the lotus and he engaged in meditation. Okay, let me see. Okay, now let's see what happens. Shloka 26. No, there are some more. Okay, there is some more quotes from the Bhagavatam. Okay, when Brahma heard the sound, he tried to find the speaker, searching on all sides. When he was unable to find anyone besides himself, he thought it wise to sit down on lotus seat firmly and give his attention to the execution of penance as he was instructed. So this is interesting, that you hear the sound. What do you understand? There is a person behind the sound, obviously. No? So scientists are pushing this Big Bang. The Big Bang, there was an explosion, there was a big sound. But there is a person behind the sound. There's a common sense. You hear the sound, you turn around. What is it? What is the source of the sound? So Brahma was inquisitive, but he could not find the speaker. Nevertheless, he obeyed. Because he did not know the way out. He did not know what is this all about. He did not know what is his purpose, how to create. He had desire from previous impressions, remember? He had desire to create. He knew that I should create, but how to do it, he did not know. So the instruction was given, tapa, tapa, and he surrendered. Okay. So look at this. We look at this purpose of Prabhupada. Really, this purpose is so instructive for us, so helpful, so much clarity is given. To achieve success in life, one should follow the example of Brahma, the first living creature in the beginning of creation. After being initiated by Supreme Lord to execute tapasya, he was fixed in his determination to do it. And although he could not find anyone behind himself, he could rightly understand that the sound was transmitted by Lord himself. Okay. So he did not see the Lord, but he heard transcendental vibration and he accepted instruction. Brahma was the only living being at that time because there was no other creation. No one could be found there except him. In the beginning of first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, in the first chapter, first verse, it has already been mentioned that Brahma was initiated by Lord from within. Tene Brahma Hridayadi Kavaya. Correct? The Lord is within every living entity, the super soul, and he initiated Brahma because Brahma was willing to receive the initiation. The Lord can similarly initiate everyone who is inclined to have it. As already stated, that Brahma is the original spiritual master of the universe, and since he was initiated by Lord himself, the message of Srimad Bhagavatam is coming down by disciplic succession. In order to receive the real message of Srimad Bhagavatam, one should approach the current link of spiritual master in chain of disciplic succession. So Brahma was instructed directly by the Lord. We can get the same message, the same instruction through the disciplic succession. The Brahma is head of the Sampradaya. After being initiated by the proper spiritual master in their chain of succession, one should engage himself in discharge of tapasya, in the execution of devotional service. Now here Prabhupada equates tapasya and devotional service. We are not doing tapasya for the sake of accumulating some assets, some powers, some cities. Because by tapasya you can actually fulfill material desires also. You can get some powers, mystic powers, cities, and you can start manipulating material world. You can become powerful, you can become worshipful. People may worship you, people may give you wealth, people, puja, labha, pratishtha, all these things will be manifest. So that should not be misused. That's not the point of tapasya. Here Prabhupada equates tapasya in execution of devotional service. We do tapasya to get bhakti, okay, to please the Lord. We do fast on Ekadashi, to please the Lord. Not that I'll control them, I'll be powerful, I'll be influence others, I'll be famous, I'll get the money, I'll get the assets, I'll get the land, I'll be in charge, I'll be Mahant of the ashram. Not for that, for the bhakti. Anything we do is for bhakti. Why do we chant? To please Krishna, to get bhakti. Why do we fast? For the same reason. Why to do anything? One should not, however, think of himself on the level of Brahma, to be initiated directly by the Lord from inside. Because in the present age, no one can be accepted to be as pure as Brahma. Okay, so here Prabhupada say, cool down. Everybody, don't dream that you will be initiated directly by Brahma. The post of Brahma to officiate in the creation of the universe is offered to most pure living being. Unless one is qualified, one cannot accept to be treated like Brahmaji directly. Okay, don't expect. But one can have the same facility through unalloyed devotees of Lord, through spiritual instructions as revealed in Gita and Bhagavatam especially, and also through the bona fide spiritual master available to the sincere soul. The Lord himself appears as the spiritual master to a person who is sincere in heart about serving the Lord. So once person, even non-devotee becomes sincere in understanding, then what happens? Krishna sends him devotees, books, guidance, association. Immediately it comes. Bhagavan is in everyone's hearts. He knows. He immediately sends. Now we have all experienced this in life, no? Therefore, the bona fide spiritual master who happens to meet a sincere devotee should be accepted as the most confidential and beloved representative of the Lord. If a person is posted under the guidance of such a bona fide spiritual master, it may be accepted without any doubt that the desiring person has achieved the grace of the Lord. So once you get the Guru, then you understand Krishna mercy was bestowed upon me. This is understanding. Now I have a guru. That is itself proof that Krishna has given mercy to us. So here Srila Vaishnava Chakravarti Thakur comments here. Someone was clearly ordered me to perform austerity. It seems I am being directly ordered. Considering that it was for his benefit, he then concentrated his mind meditation. So this was Brahma's. This is Shloka 26. Okay, let's see the Shloka 26. Did I read 25 purport? Yeah. Yeah. Purport is clear. Okay. Now, Shloka 26. Now see the tapasya. What exactly Brahma did. Atate pesa suchiram prinan govindam vyayam shvetadvita rupina paripasitam sahasragala sampanne kote kinjala bhimite bhumis chintamanis tatra karnikare mahasane samasinam chidanandam jyoti rupam sanatanam shabda brahmamayam venum vadayantam mukhamuje vilasini ganavritam svaisvar amshar abhishtutam. Now what he did? Brahma, being desirous of satisfying Govinda, practiced the cultural acts for Krishna in Goloka, Lord of Shvetadvip, for a long time. His meditation ran thus. There exists a divine lotus of 1,000 petals, augmented by millions of filaments, in transcendental land of Goloka. On its wall, on which we sit, that Sri Krishna, the form of ethers, playing on his divine flute, resonant with the divine sound with his lotus mouth. He is worshipped by his amorous milkmaids with their respective subjective portion and extension, and also by his external energy who stays outside, embodying all mundane qualities. Now this is the meditation. The Lord Brahma meditated on of that lotus, of that yantra which was described, the hexagonal of the lotus, where Lord Krishna actually sits on the throne with Radharani and plays his flute, and he is served with a transcendental, what is it? Amorous subjective portion and extensions. So gopis, gopas, all the residents of Vrindavan, Brajvasis. And also, here is mentioned, he is also served by external energy who stays outside, embodying all mundane qualities. So everybody worships the Lord, spiritual and material potencies. This is what Brahma saw. That was his meditation. Now here, explanation of this Maya worshipping Lord is given in the purport. Okay. Although the object of meditation is fully transcendental, yet owing to her nature, which is permeated with the quality of active mundane hankering, Maya, the non-spiritual potency of Krishna, embodying the principles of mixed sattva, rajas and tamas in the forms of Durga, and other non-spiritual powers, meditated on the Supreme Lord Krishna as the object of their worship. Okay, so here is explained that although Maya has the quality, or put the jiva in the quality of active mundane hankering, desiring, material desires, active mundane hankering. The non-spiritual potency of Krishna, although it is mixed with sattva, rajas and tamas in the form of Durga and other non-spiritual powers, her expansions, meditated on the Supreme Lord as the object of their worship. Even Maya, even material potency worships Krishna. So long as there is any trace on mundane desire in one's heart, it is object of worship of Maya Devi Durga who has to be worshipped by such a person. If you have material desires, actually you worship Durga. That's what it is. Nevertheless, the fulfillment of one's heart desire results from the worship of object of worship of Maya Devi. Who is object of worship of Maya Devi? Krishna. So, who is giving the result even of if you worship Maya, who is giving result? Krishna, correct? So that's explained in 7th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Same thing, no? Yo yo yam yam tanubhakta shradhaya chittanisya tasya tasya shalam shradham tamayo vidajami. Even faith to worship devatas comes to me. Even result, it comes from me. So, and not from the worship of Maya Devi herself. This is in accordance with the shloka akama sarva kama va moksha kama udaradhi tivrena bhakti yogena yajeta purusham param. The meaning of the shloka is of Bhagavatam is that through other gods as distinct manifestations, is that though other gods as distinct manifestations Supreme Lord are bestowers of sundry specific boons. Look at the description of Bhaktisiddhanta. Sundry specific boons means temporary material blessings. Okay, sundry specific boons. Yet a sensible person should worship the all-powerful Supreme Lord, giver of all good, with unalloyed devotion, without worshipping those mundane gift-giving deities. So here, in accordance to shloka, akama sarva kama, even if devotees has material desires, he will not worship demigods. He will worship Supreme Lord. Even if one has material desires, unfortunately, then one should still approach the Supreme Lord, for He is the ultimate bestower. And by that, by worshiping Lord, one gets purified from these material desires. Accordingly, Brahma meditated upon Krishna in Goloka, the object of the worship, from a distance of Maya Devi. Why is like that? Now you understood. The Maya Devi is not in the spiritual world. She is outside. This is what the shloka says. Okay? Who stays outside. Why? Because she is not allowed in the spiritual world. There is no Maya in the spiritual world. Huh? So she is outside, surrounding, the outskirts. Here, where is the Maya? Maya is here, outskirts. Of course, we cannot show that this Karna ocean surrounds all spiritual world, and Maya is in the outskirts. From outskirts she is worshipping. So from where Brahma is worshipping? From outskirts, from Maya's place. Why? Why is this particularly mentioned? Because Brahma also has material desire. Yeah, this is what is explained. Because Brahma also had material desire. Okay, so this is here explained. Here, the devotion of Brahma. Okay, where we are. The true Brahma meditated upon Krishna in Goloka as the object of worship from a distance of Maya Devi. The true devotion is unalloyed devotion, activity free from mundane desire. Okay, that is pure devotion. The devotion of Brahma is not unmixed devotion. But there is a stage of unmixed predilection, even in devotion for the... There is some mixture. Mixed devotional service means there is some devotion in that also, but is mixed with material desire. It's not pure, but you cannot say that there is no any devotion there also. So here, this has been fully described in concluding 5 shlokas of this work. That is the easiest method of divine service prior to attainment of self-realization by fallen souls. So this hints that even if you have material desires, you worship the Lord, and slowly you will be detached from the result. Nishkama karma is mentioned, and then slowly it purifies us here. Okay, so this is the shloka 26. So Srila Jiva Goswami explained this, that how Brahma is using this mantra in order to attain his particular desire, become involved with powers of creation. So by chanting this mantra, he meditated, upon the mantra itself and upon the Lord in Vrindavan, and he gets power to create. He was endowed with power to create. Okay. The Prakritya Guna Rupinya Paripasita means that the Lord is worshipped by Prakriti in the form of Lord of Goloka and worshipped through the meditation and other processes. So how does three gunas and Maya worship Lord? By meditation. There's no difference in that sense. But this is what is explained, that they cannot approach the spiritual abode, so they worship by meditation. Maya Devi is a shy, Vilajjamana. Remember that shloka, that Maya is shy in front of the Lord, and from the distance she offers pranams. She cannot come close. So from the distance, by meditation and other processes, Srila Jiva Goswami is saying, but not directly, since they do not have access to the Dham. This is explained. So then again, he quotes immediately this, Maya paraitya bimukhecha vilajjamana, that Maya, shame, runs away from the presence of the Lord. And he quotes Tava Balim, Udvahatim, that the demigods and material nature herself offer you tributes. So even devatas in material world, you can see always they come to the bank of the Kshira ocean when there is a trouble in material world. They come with Brahma to the Kshirakakshaya Vishnu. They come to the bank. And you can see, they cannot see the Lord. They have no access to the Vaikuntha planet, which is within material world, Kshirakakshaya Vishnu's abode. So what do? They offer prayers. And then you can see in Bhagavatam described, then Brahma in the heart got instruction from the Lord. Other devatas didn't get even that, didn't even hear. What is instruction? What is instruction of the Lord? Unless Lord appears as avatar so that devatas can also see him, But when they go, when they pray, when they want something, the Lord is not even manifested to them. So you can see same principle for Maya, same shloka is quoted. Now Srimad Bhagavatam continues this description. I will read from the Srimad Bhagavatam purpose, shloka 26 we did. Okay, now we'll see what Bhagavatam says. Okay, Divyam Sahasrabdam Amoga Darshino. Is that the one? Yes. This is 298. So when Brahma, what he did? Lord Brahma underwent penance for 1,000 years by the calculation of demigods. Okay. He heard this transcendental vibration from the sky and he accepted it as a divine. Thus he controlled his mind and senses, and the penance he executed were a great lesson for living entities. Thus he is known as the greatest of all ascetics. Tapas tapiyam tapatam samahita. So he is accepted as the one who does the best of penances, or who is the best in performing the penances. Now, we see little difference between Brahma Samhita description and Bhagavatam description. We can see in Brahma Samhita that Brahma, who did this meditation on Vrindavan and Goloka, actually he's in Krishna's form, and he sees Vrindavan. Here Brahma in the Bhagavatam, what he will see? He will see finally Garbhodakashaya Vishnu laying on Ananta Shesha, and he will see the lotus and everything. He will see Ananta Shesha, he will see the Lord laying down, he will see the source of the lotus and everything. So that might be different according to different Brahma. So don't get confused with that. But the principle is same, the sequence is same, the penance is performed. So here Brahma Samhita, he was more devotion. He was sitting, meditating, focusing his mind on the jewel throne, Divya Printaranya Kalpadrumada, Srimat Ratnaga Sihasana Stav, that Govinda Devi is sitting on the jewel throne under the Kalpa Vriksha in Vrindavan. That is meditation of Brahma from Brahma Samhita. Okay. So here, Srila Prabhupada explains this tapasyas in more detail of Brahma in the purport. It's really good, it's really instructive, it's nice to... Don't mind reading some, but that's really the point. That is how we study these purports. We really, from different angles, try to understand. The Lord Brahma, Prabhupada says, heard the occult sound, tapa, but he did not see the person who operated the sound. And still, he accepts the instruction as beneficial for him. And therefore he engaged himself in meditation for 1,000 celestial years. Now remember, now it explains celestial years. Now these years could refer to demigod years. Okay. 1,000 celestial years. Brahma lives 100 years of Brahma. But that's much more than demigod years. And it's much more than human years. Okay. One celestial year is equal 6 to 3 by 12 by 1,000 of our years. His acceptance of sound was due to his pure vision of absolute nature of the Lord. Now this is very important. When we first time heard devotees, they tell us the chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra is transcendental sound vibration. We say, how do I know it's transcendental sound vibration? By material lips, material voices, how do you know? So here Brahma, he accepted immediately due to his pure vision of absolute nature of the Lord. He understood by his punya, by his previous knowledge, by his previous devotional service, by his previous austerity, he was able to understand the absolute nature of the Lord, that Lord is not different from the transcendental sound. So he had no problem. He accepted, yes, the Lord's instruction and the Lord are same, absolute. Why? Because Lord's instruction will bring me to the Lord. It's the same. Is a hearing instruction from the Lord or seeing the Lord himself. There is no difference because the result is purifying, beneficial, uplifting, liberating. Same benefit is absolutely same. There is no difference from Lord sound and sing. But we have to have a faith. We have to have a faith. So devotees, they engage us in chanting, they give us prasadam, they're nice to us, they purify us by little service. And then based on that credit, we are able to start chanting Hare Krishna, Hare. We got the faith. We got the faith by that, association, by the purification. We got the faith in chanting. And due to his correct vision, he made no distinction between Lord and Lord's instruction. There is no difference between the Lord and sound vibration coming from him, even though he is not personally present. The best way of understanding is to accept such divine instruction, and Brahma, the prime spiritual master ever, is the living example of this process of receiving transcendental knowledge. So we accept this instruction from Srila Prabhupada based on faith. We had faith. We are impressed with devotees. Devotees were impressed with Srila Prabhupada. They simply believed him. Not that they were learned in Vedas or they were pious from previous life. These are Western people. How do they accept it? You may say they also did some punya previous life. Definitely, otherwise how you come in association with Prabhupada? Of course, Prabhupada's mercy, but again, mercy is bestowed upon those who invoke the mercy, those who practice something spiritual. Yeshan tvantagata papam jananam punya karmanam. There must be something from previous life. 2 times Prabhupada was asked this question, that Prabhupada, is it Prabhupada said, yeah, you must be that you have practiced bhakti in previous life. So Krishna sent you now here. 1 time Prabhupada said. The next time, when devotee asked that Srila Prabhupada, is it that because of our previous practice of bhakti, our punya, that we are now devotees? Prabhupada said, I am your punya. So that also mercy of Prabhupada, the mercy of pure devotee, that's also there. That is also fact. So better we consider like that. Instead of, I was a great devotee previous life. I was a great devotee previous life. Don't ask me to clean the temple room, please. I was a great devotee. Otherwise, how I came? So that, in neophyte devotees always get things upside down, So we should not misunderstand these statements. Better to think that by mercy of Srila Prabhupada, we are offered shelter in this Krishna consciousness movement in form of his instruction, in form of association, in form of hearing pure transcendental sound vibration from his pure representatives. This is proper understanding. Okay, here. The potency of transcendental sound is never minimized because the vibrator is apparently absent. Just because you cannot see Krishna now, doesn't mean that Hare Krishna mantra is not different from Krishna. But look how it says. Because vibrator is apparently absent. It's not absent. We are not seeing. Therefore, Srimad Bhagavatam or Gita or any other revealed scripture in the world is never to be accepted as an ordinary mundane sound without transcendency. One has to receive transcendental sound from the right source, accept it as a reality, and prosecute the direction without hesitation. This is the attitude. This is what helps us. So many doubts. Why this? How do I know Vedas are right? How do I know they didn't change the shlokas? How do I know? How do you know? You know by the conduct of the saintly person, of the Guru, of the pure devotee. You can see it works on him. You can see Guru Maharaj. You can see Srila Prabhupada. You can see the Prabhupada's followers. They become pure by chanting Hare Krishna, reading Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, following. You can see the Dharma is established by their proper conduct. And this is what builds faith in all of us, in everyone else. Dharma is spread by the proper conduct of a pure devotees, by seeing their devotion, by seeing their renunciation, by seeing their dedication. We get faith. And then we actually progress. We build faith on that. We progress in spiritual life because we surrender to the instruction of the such a Guru. Yeah? So this is what established the principles of religion. The secret of success is to receive sound from right source, a bona fide spiritual master. Mundane manufactured sound has no potency as such. Seemingly transcendental sound received from unauthorized person also has no potency. One should be qualified enough to discern such transcendental potency, either by discriminating or by fortunate chance. If one is able to receive transcendental sound from bona fide spiritual master, his path to liberation is guaranteed. Either you understand it, discriminate yourself, or by good fortune of devotees you came in association. But take it, you have to get the transcendental sound from bona fide guru, and that your path of liberation is guaranteed. The disciple, however, must be ready to execute the order of bona fide spiritual master as Lord Brahma executed the instruction of his spiritual master, the Lord himself. Okay, so we understand that this Divya Saraswati is transcendental sound vibration uttered by the Lord himself. Lord acts through his potencies. Parasya Shakti Vidaya Shruati. So when Lord speaks, the transcendental sound is Divya Saraswati. Okay, so that transcendental sound originated from the Lord. The Lord instructed the Brahma himself, and as Prabhupada confirms here. Following the order of bona fide spiritual master is the only duty of disciple, and this completely faithful execution of order of bona fide spiritual master is secret of success. So this is how Brahma. Okay. Now, Prabhupada elaborates here how Brahma also not only chanted, it's not only chanting, it's not only let's go and Sunday we gather and just chant Hare Krishna, but look at it. Lord Brahma controlled two grades of senses, namely his sense perception and his organs of action, because he has to engage them in the execution of the Lord. So control of senses must be there along with the chanting mantra. It's not just we just chant. And then no lectures, no hearing, no service. We just come once a week to temple and have Kirtan Mela and chant Hare Krishna. And the essence is chanting, Lord Chaitanya came to spread the chanting, and then, there is no sense control, there is no mind control, there is no service, there is no absorption in the Lord, and that's it. Only in that we come and chant. That's all what we want to do. Chanting is the answer. But chanting is accompanied by the tapa. Here from Brahma we see, and we see Prabhupada given us this instruction. So much service he given. It's not that Prabhupada would sit and all day just chant. At the beginning there were a lot of chanting, and then there was a service, there was a preaching, there was expanding, there was a mobilizing others, there was book distribution, opening of centers, prasadam distribution, opening of farms, goshalas, restaurants, spreading the movement, traveling, preaching. So many things happened, correct? Re-establishing holy dhams, building the Mayapur, building Vrindavan temples, no? Big thing. It's not just, we sit and chant. Yeah, we sit and chant. But we also do other tricks in the service of the Lord. The Lord's order descends in disciplined succession through bona fide spiritual master, and thus the execution order of bona fide spiritual master is effectual control of the senses. Look at this. What means controlling the senses? Do what Guru tells you to do. That means control of the senses. Look at this. The executing order of spiritual master is effectual control of the senses. So it becomes easier. Not that I mental and speculative, my mind is killing what to do, I'll do this, I want to go to Vrindavan, I want to study Bhakti Shastra, I want to, maybe I should open a restaurant, or maybe I should actually work and give contribution to temple, or shall I get married, or shall I take sannyas, what shall I do? Ask Guru. He says all your problems are solved, all our problems are gone. Just ask Guru, what shall I do? And Guru says, this is your, and then you absorb your mind, senses, energy, everything executing order. And this is factual control of the senses. Otherwise, killer. Mind is a bigger grinder than any stone grinder I've ever seen in the life. Personal experience I have. Such execution of penance in full faith and sincerity made Brahmaji so powerful that he became creator of the universe. And because he was able to attain such power, he is called the best amongst all tapasvis. So this is amazing, no? Okay, next shloka. I read a little more. The troubles or penance accepted by Brahma were certainly in line of devotional service. Okay, again, Prabhupada is speaking. Not just tapasya for the sake of tapasya, not just tapasya to get some assets, to get some powers, for the sake of bhakti. No, book distribution means sometimes tapasya, sometimes it's bliss when people are pious. But you go to Western countries, when they shout on you, they throw you down, they throw the books, they want to beat you. There's a tapasya to go. It's sometimes cold, sometimes raining, sometimes body is not working properly, sometimes mind is not agreeing. Sometimes mind is not agreeing, most of the time mind is not agreeing. But we push ourselves, we accept tapasya for bhakti, not for any other cause, not to prove ourselves, not to get a score, not to get recognition among devotees. It's just for the sake of bhakti to please Krishna. Otherwise, there was no chance that Vaikuntha or Swalokam, Lord's personal abode, become visible to Brahmaji. Unless tapasya is mixed with bhakti, cannot reveal the spiritual world. Tapa on your own will bring you to Brahman realization. It will lead you to realization of not this body and spirit soul, but will not actually reveal your eternal relation with God. It will not lead you to Vaikuntha. It's not possible. Tapa on its own has no power. No? Vasudeva Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Janayati Shuvairagyam Jnanashaya Ahaitukam. That by bhakti, side products are knowledge and renunciation. They come automatically. But bhakti is the main principle. Bhakti is the main, the heart of it. From bhakti, we study Shastra. Bhakti Shastra, to invoke bhakti. We do tapasya. Bhakti tapasya, you may call it. To invoke bhakti. Nothing is apart from bhakti in devotional service. So that is explained. Otherwise, it's not possible. The personal abodes of Lord, known as Vaikunthas, are neither mythical nor material, as conceived by impersonalists. But the realization of transcendental abodes is possible only through devotional service. And thus the devotees enter into such abodes. There is undoubtedly trouble in executing penance. But the trouble except in executing bhakti yoga is transcendental happiness from very beginning. Whereas the trouble of penance, other process, jnana, dhyana, etc., without any Vaikuntha realization, ends in troubles only and nothing more. And this is a fact. You know, when we push one day some service, anything, whether physical service or intellectual service, or we push through some seminar, or we push through some long kirtan, or we push cooking big feast in the kitchen for the deities, no? You push, it's tapasya, it's energy, endeavor, it's strain. But at the end is bliss. At the end is completely happiness, however. You can see the full satisfaction come of the soul. Susukam kartumagaya. Bhakti is practiced with happiness. All right. There is no profit in beating husk without grain. Similarly, there is no profit in executing troublesome penances for self-realization other than penances in Bhakti Yoga. So here, look at this Prabhupada's expression. Executing Bhakti Yoga is exactly like sitting on the lotus sprouted of the abodement of the transcendental personality of Godhead, for Lord Brahma was seated there. Look how Prabhupada speaks, no? Executing Bhakti Yoga is like sitting on the lotus spread from the Lord's navel. Now, Brahmaji was able to please the Lord, and Lord was also pleased to show Brahmaji his personal abode. Look at this. Lord was pleased to show him his personal abode. No? Srila Jiva Goswami, in commentary with Kama Sandarbha, annotation of Bhagavatam, cites quotation from Brihad Aryanaka Upanishad, Vedic evidence. It is said that Yajnavalkya described transcendental abode of Lord to Gargi, and that the abode of Lord is situated above the highest planet of the universe, namely Brahmalok. This abode of Lord, although described in revealed scripture like Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, remains only myth for the less intelligent class of men with full fund of knowledge. Here in the word Swadrishtva Bihi is very significant. One who has actually realized self, realized the transcendental form of his self. Look at this one. Actually, if you are realized, in personal side, we are self-realized soul, Brahman realized, Aham Brahmasmi. But look at it. One who has actually realized his self, realizes the transcendental form of his self. Unless you realize your form, you did not realize self fully. I'm soul, but what soul I am? What is my spiritual form? What is my service? What is my rasa with Krishna? That you have to realize. Otherwise you did not realize self. You did not realize fully self. This is such a nice sentence, look at it. One who has actually realized his self, realized the transcendental form of his self. Impersonal realization of self and the Supreme is incomplete, is not complete, because it's just an opposite conception of material personality. The personality of God and the personalities of devotees of the Lord are all transcendental. They do not have material bodies. Okay, so what do we do? Shloka 27. There is no time. 1 hour is gone, and we'll stop here. We'll stop here, and if you have any questions, we'd like to take some questions, and then we will discuss tomorrow, Shloka 27. And after practicing this tapasya and chanting the mantra, japa mantra, given by the Divya Saraswati, Brahma will receive second initiation from the Lord Gayatri mantra that is described in the next shloka. So, okay, I will just see, do you have any questions? Okay, Chad. Can you clarify, Brahma Samhita was recited before or after universe was created by Brahma? So here it seems that it was recited before universe was created by Brahma, according to the Brahma Samhita. Because he chanted the mantras, he got instruction, mantra to follow, Gopala mantra, and then he got this Kama Gayatri mantra which we'll hear tomorrow. And then he got the power to create. That was all Bhagavatam description, that by these austerities, by tapa, he get power to create. Then only he created. So here. Is the Kama Bija mantra same as Gayatri mantra? No, Kama Bija is the word clean. That is the Kama Bija. And Gayatri mantra will be revealed tomorrow. The Gayatri mantra will be explained tomorrow. In full details, whatever you can explain. Actually, Guru has to give Gayatri mantra. It's very uncomfortable, this seminar, speaking about the Gayatri mantras, because you should really hear from Guru the transcendental sound vibration of Gayatri mantra, and then only will have impact. And some explanation we can give, but we cannot give full details. It's not possible to explain. It's not really, but because it's mentioned in the purport, and Prabhupada say to distribute these books all around. Therefore, we were discussing something about it. Yeah. So there is a difference: Kama Bija and Kama Gayatri. Kama Gayatri, there is Kama Bija. The first word is of the mantra called Kama Bija, the seed of the mantra. Okay. So. Yeah, I got permission from Guru Maharaj. I asked him that how much we can discuss. So he said that, this Kama Bija should not be mentioned. Then we saw the purport is mentioned. Oh, it's mentioned. Okay, then you can say this much. Like that, Usually it's not. There is no power unless you receive it from Guru. That's the point. You may discuss. Remember that example of Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, that girl may hear about pregnancy, may read about pregnancy, may see other girls pregnant, but unless she gets married, she'll not become pregnant. Unless you get diksha from Guru, it will not work like this. Simply reading Gayatri mantra and you can, it doesn't work like that. Okay. So there is no other questions, so we'll stop here. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Shri Brahma Samhita ki jai, Gaur Premanande.